Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to the 2016 National Capital Region 9/11 Memorial Stair Climb and 5K hosted by the Prince George's County's Fire and Emergency Medical Services Department. My name is Mark Brady and I'm the Chief Spokesman for the Fire and EMS Department, and it is certainly a pleasure and an honor to be here this morning with you. Can you believe it's been 15 years? The National Capital Region Stair Climb and 5K will focus on the strength and courage of the 343 members of the FDNY, as well as the 37 members of the Port Authority Police and the 23 NYPD members who perished that tragic day. It's a beautiful morning here. For those of you that were with us last year, you might remember at about this time we were headed indoors to avoid some thunderstorms. This year we have an eye on the weather as well. Fortunately, I think we'll be done and out of here before the high heat arrives. But temperatures later this afternoon will be near 100 with heat indexes well into the 100s. Please stay healthy by drinking plenty of water before, during, and after your activity. If you do feel some illness, please wave down one of the many Fire and EMS Department members that can help you. Our 9/11 Memorial Stair Climb started with a very humble beginning several years ago at the Maryland Trade Center in Greenbelt on September 11th. In just a few short years, this event has grown into one of the most successful National Fallen Firefighter Foundation's stair climbs in the country. And that's thanks to people like you that come every year. We now hold our events here at the Gaylord National Resort and Convention Center and the National Harbor. This year, an antique fire apparatus muster has been added, as well as a bull and oyster roast. My job here today is to introduce our MCs. They are truly good friends to myself, my family, and to just about everybody here today. Dave Stair and his wife Hillary Howard. Dave is a former television and radio reporter who started his public safety career here with the Prince George's County's Fire and EMS Department as a volunteer firefighter, EMT, dispatcher, and cardiac rescue technician. Dave spent 38 years in broadcasting in the Washington, D.C. area before retiring in June of 2010, the happiest day of my life. If you are a firefighter, you are probably familiar with Dave's website, statter911.com. His popular website he has maintained since May of 2007. The site focuses on fire and EMS issues worldwide, with special attention to news and videos Dave still generates from around the National Capital Region. If there's a great or good fire video out there somewhere in the world, Dave will have it on his site. Dave stays busy working with the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation on multiple programs, including producing videos and developing educational content. Hillary Howard is an award-winning radio and TV reporter who has worked in Washington for more than 20 years. You can hear Hillary on all-news radio station WTOP, broadcast right out of Washington, D.C., and you can watch Hill on the popular TV show It's Academic, where she has been host since September 2011. You may have also seen her on her TV station work with Fox 5 and WUSA Channel 9 before she moved to WTOP. Some of their most important from the heart work is performed as a team. Dave and Hillary annually host the satellite uplink from the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation Memorial Weekend in Emmitsburg, Maryland. This link transmits that solemn memorial service around the world. Speaking of teamwork, their best work together is probably their son, Sam. Sam has joined us here at the stair climb the past several years. You'd see him climbing the stairs, walking, doing some push-ups, but this year, a little bit different, you don't see Sam here. I understand he left high school. For good reason. Dave and Hillary's son has left high school early and entered a 4-year college program for students that are able to start college early from the 11th and 12th grades. So Sam is up in Massachusetts attending college and will miss this year's stair climb again for a very good reason. Congratulations, very proud parents. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming Dave and Hillary. Good morning.
Morning, everybody. Hi. I had forgotten that Dave was a cardiac technician. There's some irony there because he was trying to save hearts and restart them, and clearly he has stopped mine.
Thought you were going to talk about me being fat and overweight and work on my cardiac.
No, but we could talk about that. Anyway, it is wonderful to be here with all of you today. Mark mentioned that the weather is really nice, albeit a little sticky, but it should be good. And, you know, I don't want to say a lot and waste a lot of time, but it did occur to me that 15 is a meaningful number. In some ways, it's just a number, but it's a meaningful number because it's a multiple of 5, like the 5 bells, that toll for a fallen firefighter. So it brings even more significance to this day as we look back and remember all of those who perished in the towers.
This is an event we look forward to each year. It's wonderful, witnessed by how many people are here. It's a great family event. The National Fallen Firefighters Foundation puts these events on all over the country. I always enjoy coming back here to Prince George's County. We're really happy that you're here this morning. 15 years ago, as Hillary was talking about, I was in front of the Pentagon, and I was there within 5 or 6 minutes of the plane going into the Pentagon, and I witnessed firsthand what firefighters do, and they run toward the danger, as we saw in New York, as we saw at the Pentagon, and that's what firefighters always do, and that's what we're honoring here today, and that we always honor, and hopefully we'll always remember and think about and keep in our hearts those who perished 15 years ago and their survivors. And that's what the foundation does, and we'll hear about that a little bit more in a few minutes, but we always want to remember the fallen and those they've left behind. But we're going to move on here this morning.
So, ladies and gentlemen, please stand and remove your hats for the presentation of colors by the Prince George's County Fire EMS Department Honor Guard, and then the singing of our national anthem by Bridget Wilson. Honor Guard, present the colors.
Present. On.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. Now our Pledge of Allegiance will be recited by Jennifer Hill, wife of PGFD Captain Chris Hill, who we lost recently, and their 2 children, Evan and Amy Hill. Good morning.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, to the republic, indivisible, liberty, and justice for all.
Please remain standing for our invocation by Fire Service Chaplain Dwayne Frost.
hearts and minds stayed on Him. Let us bow our heads in prayer. Our Father, we thank you for another beautiful day. We come to remember our brothers and sisters who were taken from us 15 years ago in the attack on America. Let us not forget their sacrifices. Bless the families, the friends, and the loved ones who remain. Bless each participant here today. Keep them from all hurt, harm, and danger. Lord, we remember the old hymn, O God, our help in ages past, our hope for tomorrow, our joy in sorrow. Help us return not only to the hurt and the pain, but to your help in your arms we gain. These are the blessings we ask in your name we pray. Amen.
As I was saying, one of the great things about coming back to Prince George's County for me is all the friends that I have here. And one of them is your Fire Chief, Mark Bashore, who I got to cover as a reporter quite extensively and spent a lot of time with, and glad to see the great work that he's doing here. He's not used to me saying nice things about him, so I have to this morning, and we're very glad to have Prince George's County Fire Department Chief Mark Bashore. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Dave and Hillary. I appreciate you all taking time out of your busy schedules to be with us every year. We really appreciate it. I want to thank first the Fallen Firefighters Foundation for everything that they do every day. You're going to hear from Victor Stagnaro shortly. The foundation's work to prevent line of duty deaths is a noble cause that we are all here supporting. The donations and registrations made today have made the Prince George's County stair climb last year the third highest grossing stair climb in the United States. We hope to best that this year, and I appreciate the Foundation's support in this year naming this event the National Capital Region Stair Climb, hosted by the Prince George's County Fire and EMS Department for that recognition. I want to thank the Gaylord Resort. We couldn't do this without them. Mai Harrison, I appreciate all of the help for the Gaylord and everything that both you and the Harbor have done to make this event what it is today. And Dave and Hillary, I want to, if you could come up here for just a second, I want to present you, normally I do this at a different point in the program, but I want to present you with your official PGFD Mafia shirt. And for those, for those that don't understand that, the Prince George's County Fire and EMS Department has had folks that have been through this department rise to the highest ranks of federal government, up to the national level as the United States Fire Administrator, all the way down to fire chiefs all over the country, and in positions, the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation, the Executive Director. Our folks are fondly referred to as the Prince George's Fire Department Mafia, are everywhere. So Dave and Hillary are now official members of that mafia. And as far as the thank yous, the last thank you, I want to thank our event organizers under the direction of Assistant Chief Gary Critchbaum, who I believe is on the bus right now doing the command and control stuff. But most importantly, our sponsors and our supporters. We couldn't raise the funds we raise without them. So if you see those folks, and as you see those signs that are out there for folks that raised money or that contributed significant amounts towards it, you'll see those as you climb. Make sure you thank those folks when you see them, because without them, we couldn't do this. County Executive Baker and the County Council members that have contributed to this, you're going to hear from County Executive Baker in a little bit. He will be climbing with us today. Their support, their unwavering support for the Fire and EMS Department and for public safety in general has been unwavering. I have with us today Deputy Chief Administrative Officer for Public Safety, Mark McGaugh. I have the Fire Chief for Alexandria, Bob Dubay. We have other Fire Chiefs. Police Chief Hank Stawinski will be here shortly. They're all going to be climbing. They're all going to be climbing, Chief McGaugh. They're all going to be climbing with us as we go. In fact, Mark McGaugh said he would do push-ups with me in the courtyard over there, so be ready for that. But without each of you, this event would not be possible. So courage, honor, determination, and hero. You hear those words used to describe many things and many people, but rarely do we take the opportunity to truly reflect on the word's meaning. And every time we do this event and one of those planes goes overhead, it reminds me of what those guys went through. Guys is a relative term on 9/11. Rarely do we have the opportunity to meet so many who embody those words at one time. My tag, I want you to meet Peter Gansey, born October 27th, 1946. He served in the United States Army, 82nd Airborne in the Vietnam War. He joined the Fire Department of New York in the 1960s with his first assignment at Engine Company 92 in the Bronx, a station that I had the privilege of riding at about 25 years ago. Peter was a husband, a father, a firefighter, and at the time of his untimely death on 9/11, at the age of 54, he was the 28th chief of the Fire Department of New York. Chief Gansey was the incident commander at that time on 9/11, and in his true style, he was right in the thick of things at Ground Zero, commanding the largest response in the history of New York City. He was one of the 343 who died as the towers collapsed around them. That, ladies and gentlemen, is courage, honor, determination, and indeed a hero. Chief Gansey's tag rides with me 365 days a year on the visor in my buggy. It's a constant reminder to me of the sacrifice that more than 343 have made since 9/11. Keep your tag. I encourage you to research your firefighter, get to know them one by one, whether you're a firefighter or not. Their stories will be inspiration when you need it, and they should be inspiration for you today as you climb or walk. Today, we climb and we walk in memory of those 343 souls, and for every firefighter who has lost their life in service to others. This year, that includes 2 of Prince George's County's own. Everybody today is also climbing and walking for Prince George's Fire and EMS Department Lieutenant John Skillet Olmschneider and Captain Chris Hill. I want to thank Dawn and Abigail and Jen and Evan and Amy for being with us today. I think they're all going to climb, maybe walk, a little walk. But thank you all for being here. I appreciate you taking time and being a part now of our extended family that you were always a part of, but now to a degree that none of us could have ever thought. So that's the little part there that he threw me off track. So I'm going to close with courage, honor, determination, hero. Thank you, and Godspeed to all of you today. It is my privilege now to introduce somebody who I spoke about a few minutes ago. So don't anybody tell them that I said the fire department needs more money. But my boss, County Executive Sherm Baker, is joined us. He will be climbing with us. Mr. Baker, please come forward.
I want to thank Dave and Hillary for doing this today. Can we give them a round of applause? And I too want to, on behalf of the county, thank the Olmschneider and Hill family for being here. Can we give them another round of applause for all the sacrifices that they've made to this county, to this state, and to this nation? I'm so pleased that we are doing this in honor of 9/11. I know all of us can remember where we were on that day. For me, I was a young delegate with black hair and actually had hair. And I was in Annapolis at a meeting. And when it happened, I was conducting a meeting and everything went crazy in Annapolis. 50 was actually closed, if you remember at that time. They closed 50. My wife had our 3 children in DC. And she panicked, she ran to her office and she tried to contact me, but you couldn't contact anybody. My mom was in Massachusetts and she tried to contact me. it was just a frightening experience. And then in the midst of all that, the second plane went into the tower. I bring it up because it's important for us to remember, I grew up in the military. My dad was 82nd Airborne, and we were in Fort Bragg, North Carolina. And during the time of the Vietnam War, our families were always nervous around us because people were then deployed, and you didn't know who was going to be next. And so when my dad did his second deployment to Vietnam, he sent us to Massachusetts because he didn't want us to be in that environment where you're always nervous. But that's the environment our men and women who service every day in public safety do. Our firefighters, our police officers, every day their families send them out there and they don't know when they're coming back. And so when incidents like this happen and we see those brave men and women running to rescue others, it reminds us of the sacrifice this nation, the sacrifice they're making for this nation and for us. And so this gives us a chance to remember them, to honor them, to make sure that the men and women who you see out here who are going to climb up, who are going to walk, know that we love them, we care about them, and they're our families. So as County Executive of Prince George's County, it is my pleasure and my honor to say to you, thank you for all that you've done for us and all that you will do. God bless you. Have a safe walk and climb.
Not many county executives, you know, that show off those great legs. He runs regularly with the recruits, across the Wilson Bridge, so he's very familiar with this area, obviously, and doing some PT down here on a regular basis, which I always love to see those pictures when they get sent to me. Chief Bashore mentioned the Prince George's County Fire Department mafia that is all over the country, and one places where there's an enormous amount of members is the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation, and I have been involved with that organization for 20 years and have worked pretty closely over the last 6 since I left television. And one of the great pleasures is to work with my friend Victor Stagnero, who is no stranger to the Prince George's County Fire Department. He was a deputy chief, one of the better liked people by all in the Prince George's County Fire Department. It's hard. My claim to fame, I always say, is that as a reporter, he doesn't remember, but I actually got this man to yell at me. No one else here can make that claim, and I'm always very proud of that fact. But Victor does a great job as the Director of Fire Service Programs for the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation, and we're very glad that he's here this morning to represent the foundation. Victor, come and join us.
Good morning, and thank you for that kind introduction, Dave. You did make me mad once, so I do remember that, actually. I think Mark, Chief Bashore, already did a lot of the thank yous, but you know, on behalf of Chief Sarnicki, former Chief of Prince George's County, our Executive Director from the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation, and our entire Board of Directors, we thank you for the climb. The funds that will be raised here will go directly to support our survivor programs, as well as a lot of support that goes to the FDNY counseling unit still today to support the FDNY folks. It's very, very, very vital for us to continue to maintain that those. Without you, we couldn't do that. We did thank a lot, but you know, the other thing that comes to mind about this particular event is when it comes to the mission of the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation, it's to honor those who have fallen, to help their survivors rebuild their lives, and to prevent line of duty deaths. And these stair climbs, and there's about 40 of them going on throughout this weekend across the country. And this one is very special, certainly to us, because it is my alma mater that puts it on. But it does exactly that. We remember our fallen. The funds help those survivors. And it also highlights the need for fitness, for cardiovascular, and strength and courage, the dedication. So as you take each step, you're making that commitment to honor by remembering. You're using the funds to help those survivors, and then you're recalling the fact that when you're called upon to serve that community, you need to be prepared to do so. You know, in this business, there are admirers, there are supporters, and there are fellow workers. And Chief Bashore has been a fellow worker, as well as the Peterson companies, the Gaylord, and under Chief Bashore's leadership, he's personally been involved in ensuring the success of this event with the support of his county executive, and we cannot thank you enough. We want to thank the Peterson Company and the folks that are throughout the weekend. It'll be Fire Service Appreciation Weekend with the bull roast tonight, so you can get more information at the tent. But enough of that. Thank you very much on behalf of the survivors. And I'd like to call out, I know some of the survivors, the Elm Schneiders, the Hills. I see the Neville family. If there's any other survivors that are here, if you could just raise your hand, and because that's the other reason we're here, to support them. So again, thank you, and have a great climate.
Get close.
The fire service is rich with ceremony, custom, and tradition, as you know. The custom of rendering final honors has its origins in the fire department of New York City, where many years ago, long before the advent of radios or pagers, fire alarms and daily announcements were dispatched from central headquarters to outlying firehouses by a system of bell commands and telegraph. Each different type of alarm or announcement would have its own number and series of bell strikes. When a firefighter died in the line of duty, headquarters would transmit 5 bell strikes, repeated in 4 series, with a slight pause between each series followed by the announcement. The custom has continued down to present day, and the form of rendering final hours to departed comrades is known in the fire service as striking the 4 5s. I ask that all those gathered here today offer a moment of silence for those we lost, followed by the tolling of the bells by Bill Lehue Sr. of the Capitol Heights Volunteer Fire Department, and Amazing Grace, played by Jimmy Mazzara from the District of Columbia Fire Department.